Thanks so much for joining us on the Sprint, where we're taking a little break from that heavy news cycle of the day, all the drama, all the death, crime, and destruction. No, we're taking the time to just chill out and hang out with each other, whether it's for lunchtime or dinner time. You're out on a walk. If you got WSLS up loud and proud on WSLS.com, you're looking at the Sprint, and we're about to have a good time. Okay, so today's story that we're going to chit-chat about is one of the very reasons why I have trust issues with self-driving features. So check it out. If you're looking at your screen right now, you see this Jeep kind of rams into this Tesla. Well, the Tesla's just like, we're about to get my lick back. And it just keeps driving back into the Jeep until it goes off on the roadway. Well, this function, it was some type of malfunction that happened that is raising a lot of eyebrows right now as far as why it did that. We're going to get into the details of it coming up later on in the Sprint. But for right now, you already know I'm all about the rail yard dogs. I got my little bell. You already know I'm all about ringing it. I'm not going to blow your ears away just yet. But the season is showcased online. You'll know exactly what our dates are looking at. So if you're checking out Rail Yard Dogs about to start back up, baby. They're going to be full schedule. Upcoming season goes as follows. They'll take to the ice of the Bergman Center on October the 18th against Fayetteville Marksmen. The Dogs will have 28 home games and 28 road games. The most common opponent will be the Knoxville Ice Bears, who they will play 11 times. Roanoke reached the President's Cup semifinals last season, where they fell to the Huntsville Havoc. We have a full link on the schedule on our website at WSLS.com. So again, you already know I love me some Rail Yard Dogs. You know I love the games. I love the atmosphere. I love everything about hockey at this level. It's so much fun. But it was very disappointing when we lost this season. It was a hard-fought game, and like I told you guys, even when we were talking about it, the whole issue was the fact of the matter is that there was just so many switch-ups happening, so many players being traded. I don't think they could find their rhythm. Once they did, they either had very strong games, or when they didn't have their rhythm, it really reflected on the ice. But either way, win or lose, the games were just a blast to be at this season. And I already know this next season, starting in October, is going to be even more so of a blast. I don't even remember who actually won the finals, the cup itself. That's how I'm just like, if it's not my Dogs, I ain't worried about it. Either way, praying for another cup this season. You guys, just wish everybody good luck on that, because, again, the Rail Yard Dogs, you cannot lose with them. Well, they can lose, but you can't lose with a good time having with them. Anyways, let's get into this. I know we've been talking about hot temperatures, but get this. We got another franchise heating up in Vinton. Hot Chicken Kitchen opens Saturday, East Washington Avenue. Fast casual restaurant chain is known for its fiery Nashville-style flavor. The menu includes signature hot chicken sandwich along with tenders, wings, chicken, and waffles, loaded mac and cheese, and some French fries. The first 24 people in line get a free sandwich. I'm all about spicy. I'm all about, spicy chicken, those kind of combinations. I will say, and I'm probably about to say something controversial to a lot of people out there, I'm not that big of a fan of the Nashville hot flavor. Like, I've tried it before. I've had some really, really hot Nashville chicken, but I think what it is probably it's the texture of it. I think my mind, like, whenever you eat something that seems very oily, my mind immediately is just like, I don't think I like this texture. And then next thing you know, my brain starts saying, I don't think this is good that you're eating or what you're eating. Anyways, I know some people love Nashville hot flavor, all that good stuff. Just for me, it just feels and seems a bit greasy. And maybe that's the wrong word to use for it. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Either way, not throwing shade at this, because the food looks phenomenal. I do want to try it out, at least the sauces and the tenders and stuff. So looks like you can't go wrong with that. But that's going to be opening up on Saturday. So if you guys are interested in going there, it is all yours. Also, we got to talk about this, man. This is a cool little situation where it was a pretty rough day for a pup in Oregon, but this bad boy was rescued. This is a Great Pyrenees. He was walking up Saddle Mountain with its owner, and then he suddenly refused to go any further. And you know how sometimes dogs get all dramatic and they're just like, they're not walking any further. Well, turns out that the 160-pound dog cut its paw on wire fencing on the trail meant to help with traction. Luckily, local firefighters were prepared, brought a stretcher and everything, carried the pooch down to safety. They said that they've seen this before, and walking on wiring and rocks for extended amount of time can be rough on paws. So they need to get some dog booties if you're planning on taking your dog out to stuff like this. Taking them hiking, because again, sharp rocks and stuff, if they can hurt your feet when you're walking barefoot, trust me, it's going to hurt a dog as well, especially this big bad boy. 160 pounds, that's a lot of weight on them little paws. So I'm pretty sure picking them up, and the fact that they had to use a stretcher is also a telltale sign to show how huge this thing is. But good thing that the baby made it down safely without any issues, and hopefully his paw was treated well as soon as he got down and got the help that he needed. All right, guys. So check it out. After the break, we are coming back. Got some more cool stories coming your way. For example, a kangaroo on the loose. It kind of caused a weird little chase for police officers. But we're also talking about this self-driving Tesla, like I mentioned. Bam, you see it right there. It was a Jeep crashing into the Tesla, but the Tesla said, I'm not stopping. I'm about to push you back. And he pushed the back. Look at him still going, pushing. Okay, yeah, so we're going to talk about this. What happened, and what caused this malfunction? That full story is coming your way after the break. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned to WSLS.com on The Sprint. Welcome back to The Sprint, guys. Let's get right into this little chase right here. It's kind of cute because it ended up being like a traffic hazard, but it was a wild critter chase as well because something escaped. And if you're looking at your screen right now, you're looking at it correctly. That is a kangaroo. Deputies were led on this wild chase after reports of a roo on the run early Sunday morning. Body camera footage recorded the whole encounter. Hopping suspect escaped from local fairgrounds while on tour with his petting zoo friends. After several unsuccessful attempts to tackle the kangaroo, the adventurous marsupial was eventually caught. Police and the kangaroo walked or hopped away from the incident with no injuries. So super cute situation. And again, it's one of those situations where I bet people who are in law enforcement, you never know exactly what their stories are going to be when they get off the clock. And to say that you've chased, especially if you are not used to seeing kangaroos, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people in our area are not used to seeing random kangaroos just hopping all over the place. Yeah, this was kind of a funny deal, but I was talking about this earlier. The lucky that was it's not bigger than a joey, really. Well, it's probably a little bit bigger, but either way, it's not a full-grown kangaroo. And you know those full-grown kangaroos, them mugs don't play. They got those big, huge, I call them, I'm not going to say it because I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's inappropriate. Either way, they got those big muscles, those pectoral muscles, I think is what you call it. Either way, that right there, and then they stand up like this, and they got their tail that they lean back on, and they, it's one of those situations where I never want to be in any kind of crosshairs with a large kangaroo. But happy that this guy was adorable and they were able to catch it and bring it back to safety and return it back to its friends. So that ended up being a happy story. We got to get into this. Okay, so here's the story we were talking about. The Tesla, the self-driving deal where it got into a crash. And at first, if you're looking at the video, it appears that the driver of the vehicle that hit the Tesla was in the wrong. And you'll see it clearly. But the Tesla is just like, I'm not stopping. So, okay, here it goes. We got the video of the head-on crash involving the Tesla. Got more than 13 million views online. It says that the vehicle that hit the Tesla left the scene, making it a hit and run, unfortunately. I guess the vehicle was just like, you're going to hit me, I'm going to keep on driving. But what seems to be generating interest in the Tesla also initially pulled away after the collision before going back to the scene. The car malfunction, they're trying to figure out if it was a user error and all that good stuff. But again, we got the full story right here as far as what exactly happened. And again, not throwing shade at Tesla or anything like that, but this is why I have trust issues with using any kind of self-driving or autopilot feature. Check it out.
A video going viral showing a Jeep slamming head-on into a Tesla at an intersection on Mount Charleston just outside Las Vegas last weekend. But what happens next? Now raising a big question. Why did the Tesla start to accelerate forward, hitting the Jeep before turning left and eventually coming to a stop after swerving on the road?
We lost control of the car. The car went towards the mountain, and then I was barely able to stop it at one point.
Radu Stefan speaking with me Friday. His car with front damage back at the house.
Were you surprised that the airbags didn't deploy?
Yes, to be honest, yes.
Stefan, unsure now of his actions after the moment of impact, but tells me he does not subscribe to the self-driving capability for his Model 3 long-range dual-motor model.
Because of the impact, something happened with the electric system or anything, so it just suddenly accelerated.
How were you able to stop the car?
I just pumped the brakes.
Is it possible for a Tesla to malfunction that way after a crash?
Typically, no.
Lauren Fix, an auto expert with Car Coach Reports, a company providing auto reviews, news, and the latest on car technology.
But the fact that the car took off on its own, maybe the driver was in shock. Maybe there's more to the story.
She says the Tesla going off the road provides possible clues to the loss of control.
Maybe there was suspension damage. So maybe he was unable to steer the car properly.
The car's Event Data Recorder, or EDR, can help answer questions. Tesla's website shows the EDR is able to determine if the driver presses the accelerator or brake pedal. Stefan tells me he does not plan to retrieve that information right now, staying focused only on repairing his car to drive again.
It absorbed the heat so well, and then it saved our lives.
Yeah, so again, a very scary situation because one more shot of this. Check it out. Jeep comes, bam, hits the Tesla, and the Tesla backs up a little bit, and then it keeps accelerating. So a lot of people just like, wait, it was supposed to stop like that. And then to know the airbags didn't even deploy, that was also concerning. So my thing is that also, I bet you, I wondered if the people in the Jeep, because again, they drove off, they didn't even stop at the scene or anything like that. I wonder if they were thinking that this was just a straight up robot in the, in the Tesla, even though the driver was in there. I wonder if they were thinking that they could get away with it, since obviously a big Jeep like that, it's not going to cause that much damage to its front end, but the other damage to the Tesla, yeah, that mug got ripped, and I'm pretty sure you guys saw it. So anyways, let's bring in Jazzy Jazz on this conversation. Jazz, okay, so again, trust issues with self-driving features. I'm not about it, and this is one of those cases where it's like you might want to be paying attention if you got that feature going no matter what.
Oh yeah, I am completely with you as far as having trust issues with it. I feel like on the road, you need to be alert and aware of your surroundings. And not only that, but something like this, it could have ended a lot more worse. Mm-hmm. Somebody could have been hurt. I mean, you saw the Tesla and how much destruction it got within this crash, and all of that could have been avoided. And not to mention the financial issues that are going to come with that. So it's interesting that it had this malfunction. I've never seen anything like that. When I watched the video, I was definitely mind blown. But like you, I've always been very, very wary of things like this. Because, I mean, when you're on the road, that's your responsibility to be aware.
Right.
There's no reason why you should be allowing a machine to take that much control, because at the end of the day, that is your life.
Yeah.
You don't need to be putting your life in the hands of a machine.
Right.
So, like you said, I don't have any issues with Tesla. I'm not throwing shade at it, but it's not for me.
Right.
I just can't put that much trust into something like that.
And then we've seen, the situation where, like, for example, I know this one, again, this is the first time I've ever seen it kind of keep on going and pushing the Jeep back and drive. It keeps going. So we've seen them where they have seen, it's driving through intersections, it's driving and it crashes into trees, it's crashing into law enforcement, so anytime, I just feel like videos like this should just always kind of be a reminder to people that it's not 100% safe to do that. And granted, I'm not sure if the driver was paying attention or he wasn't expected to be hit by the Jeep to begin with, but I bet he was caught off guard when he realized that, oh snap, this Tesla, it's not stopping. Why is it not stopping? I would freak out.
Oh yeah, I would freak out as well, because I mean, a crash in its own is already very anxiety inducing.
Yep.
But then you bring this different element to it, and it just adds a completely different layer to it that wasn't needed in the first place. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it definitely serves as a warning just to not let your guards completely down when using Teslas, when driving Teslas, because again, you still have that responsibility as a driver to still be alert, even though it is driving and you're not you're able to kind of release that control, you are still responsible for just being alert and aware. So with that, when stuff like this happens, you're able to react quickly. But yeah, definitely a scary situation. I don't know what I would do if I was put in that sort of situation. And I can only imagine if, for instance, the Tesla was at fault.
Yeah.
And then it just kept on crashing the car. So you're making it even worse. Crash.
Yeah.
That
Tesla.
And just all like the financial problems and just, oh my goodness, it just sounds like a disaster.
That Tesla was just like Ludacris song, move, get out the way. But
nah, for real.
I mean, yeah. Lord bless it. Well, Jazz, thank you so much. Always great for your commentary.
All right, have a great day.
You too. Yeah, guys. Again, this is not us saying he's wrong or whatever. If you got the self-driving feature, you got that money like that, go ahead with your bad stuff. But again, these videos like this should kind of be like just a little thing in the back of your head, like anything could happen. Whereas there's other drivers that could come through and jack up your front end, or maybe, just maybe, old Tesla is just like, I'm not stopping for nobody. Either way, good story. Hopefully it's a great conversation starter for a lot of people if you're out there enjoying your free time and just, again, taking that break from that heavy news cycle. Thanks so much for joining us today, this afternoon, and this evening. You already know, we'll be back here tomorrow evening and tomorrow afternoon. WSLS.com on the Sprint.